Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes to the torch light of knowledge. Now for my respectful obeisances unto him. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamaam devim saraswati vyasam tato jayamudire. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very name of God, one should offer respectful obeisances to the personality of God and the Rishi, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Sri Rasi God. Nashta Parayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamashuloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all those troublesome to the heart was almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of God was praised with transcendental songs, established as an irrevocable fact. Oh my God. Bhavatam api bhuyanme. It's Canto 7, Chapter 7. Prahlad Maharaj learned in the womb. What he learned in the womb. Bhavatam api bhuyanme yadi shradadhate vachaha vaisharadi di shradhatam ta stribalanam chamiyata. Bhavatam api bhuyanme yadi shradhate vachaha vaisharadi di shradhata stribalanam chamiyata.
Bhavatam api bhuyanme
yadi shradhate vachaha vaisharadi shradhata stribalanam chamiyata. Bhavatam api bhuyanme yadi shradhate vachaha vaisharadi di shradhata
Sri Balanam Chameta
Bhavatam api bhuyanme yadi shradhate vachaha
Sri Balanam Chameta Bhavatam api bhuyanme
Shri shradhate vachaha Sri Balanam Chameyata Bhavatam, of yourselves. Api, also. Bhuyat, it may be. May, of me. Yadi, if. Shradadate, you believe me. Vachaha, the words. Vaisharadi, of the most expert, or in relation with the Supreme Lord. D, intelligence. Shraddhataha, because of firm faith. Stri, of women. Balanam, of small boys. Cha, also. May, of me. Yatha, just as. Translation. We'll read it together. Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear friends, if you can place your faith in my words, simply by that faith, you can also understand transcendental knowledge. Just like me, although you are small children. Similarly, women can also understand transcendental knowledge and know what is spirit and what is matter. And purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Not revealed, but will be unfolded. Hare Krishna. These words of are very important in regard to knowledge descending by the disciplic succession. Even when Prahlad Maharaj was a baby within the womb of his mother, he became fully convinced of the existence of the supreme power because of hearing the powerful instructions of and understood how to attain perfection in life by bhakti yoga. These are the most important understandings in spiritual knowledge. Yasya devi para bhaktir yata devi tata gurau tasyaite katata yartha prakashanti mahatmanaha. Unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. Shritasvatara Upanishad Atah Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grayam Indriyahai Seva Mukhahi Jivadha Swayam Eva Spurat Yadaha. No one can understand as he is by the blunt material senses. But he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. That's from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 12234. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yas chashmi tattvataha tato mang tattvato gyatva vishati tad anantaram. Quoted from where? Bhagavad Gita. Which chapter? 18. What's the text? 55. Very good. A pundit has emerged. Okay. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. These are Vedic instructions. One must have full faith in the voice of the spiritual master. Okay. And similar faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the real knowledge of Atma and Paramatma and the distinction between matter and will be automatically revealed. Very good. This Atma Tattva, or spiritual knowledge, will be revealed within the core of a devotee's heart. because of his having taken shelter of the lotus of a Mahajan such as. Okay. In this verse, the word bhuyat may be understood to mean let there be. Prahlad Maharaj offers his blessings to his class friends, saying, also become faithful like me. Become bona fide Vaishnavas. A devotee of the Lord desires for every to take to consciousness. Unfortunately, however, people do not have staunch faith in the words of the spiritual master, who comes by the disciplic succession, and therefore they are unable to understand transcendent knowledge. The spiritual master must be in the line of authorized disciplic succession, like Prahlad Maharaj, who received the knowledge from. In the class friends of Prahlad Maharaj, the sons of demons were to accept the truth through Prahlad. They would certainly also become fully aware of transcendental knowledge. The words Vaisharadi refer to this is mind, okay? Intelligence concerning the Supreme Personality of God. Okay, so this is intelligence, this is head, okay? Who is extremely expert. The Lord has created wonderful universes by his expert knowledge. Unless one is extremely expert, he cannot understand the expert management of the supreme expert. One can understand, however, if one is fortunate enough to meet a bona fide spiritual master coming in the disciplic succession from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Mother Lakshmi, or the Kumaras. These four sampradayas or disciplic successions of knowledge and transcendence are called the Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. Sampradaya Vinyahe Ye Manaste Nishpala Mata. The knowledge of the Supreme received from such a Sampradaya or disciplic succession can give one enlightenment. Very good. Who said that?
I was reading, sorry.
I don't think you'll do that again. Okay. Let's see. If one does not take to the path of disciplic succession, it is not possible to under the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one understands the Supreme Lord through devotional service with faith in the disciplic succession, then advances further. He awakens his natural for generic God, and then his success in life is assured. Lights. Hare Krishna. Okay, so basically the theme here is faith, Shraddha. At this time of year, people have faith in honoring the ancestors, and in Chaitanya Leela, there was a lot of instances of devotees honoring their ancestors, their forefathers, elders, etc., like that. Yeah. So Shraddha, so faith, what it actually means is having trust in something sublime. And what does it mean to be sublime? Can anybody define that?
Unshakable.
Implicit would be unshakable. What does it mean, sublime? Can somebody look it up? Yeah. Yeah, to be in awe, yes. In awe of the sublime. What does it mean?
So sublime means of such excellence, grandeur, or beauty as to inspire great admiration or awe.
Okay, they're right. So it inspires awe, but it's grand, it's extravagant, it's beauty, it's God. It's about spiritual things, right? Sublime. It's not of this world. There are things of this world, and then there's the other world, otherworldliness, which is spiritual, right? So this world is what it is. It is featured by 4 basic elements. What are they? Yes, birth, death, old age, disease. That's right. And one can overcome them, but it starts with faith. And the Rupa Goswami speaks about this, that, you meet devotees and you have faith in Guru, right? In our Krishna consciousness movement, our Guru is Srila Prabhupada for everyone, for all times, until Hare Krishna is sort of crumpled up and is tossed away. But that's not likely to happen. According to the predictions, Hare Krishna is supposed to be around for a while. For how many years?
10,000.
10,000. Great. That's fantastic. Great. Prahlad Maharaj is emphasizing Shraddha, faith, trust in something sublime. And he's talking to his friends. They're called here children, Balanam, because they were all children, and he himself was. But he did not show immaturity. In fact, he showed the opposite. He was very mature. And he was very mature because he was exposed to Guru. And his Guru is Narada Muni, one of the first in the line of the disciplic succession, beginning with Krishna himself, actually, Brahma and so on like that. Narada Muni was way up, one of the early birds, let's put it that way. Early birds get the worm, okay? So, who are worms? We are. We are. Sometimes devotees, they kind of joke with each other, said, I am lower, I'm more sinful than Jagai and Madai. Yeah, but I'm lower than the worm and stool. And then the other devotee will argue, well, I'm the stool of the worm and stool. We just go kind of extreme in our little competitiveness. Right? Faith, humility, these are really good qualities, incredible virtues to have, to exercise in your Krishna consciousness for your spiritual development. It's really important to have it. And faith, Prabhupada explains, comes from hearing. When you hear something repeatedly, you get convinced. And that's the whole idea behind the advertising industry, isn't it? Repeating an image, the billboard. Oh, there's that billboard again. There's that billboard again and again and again. After a while, you get brainwashed. And I have to buy that product. Why? Because that person, whatever the image was there, is very catchy, is very attractive. There's a little bit sexploitation involved usually too, that you don't even know about. But it's all very subtle, but it's not sublime. Yeah, so that's how it works. We're repeatedly hearing every day, every morning about the power of the holy name. We do it, we're convinced. You read the Shastra, it's all about that. Even when you meet people of different faith groups, they say the same thing. The name of God is really powerful, whether it's the Buddhists or the Christians or the Muslims, and the Jews. Everybody talks about the name of God. One time we had a group of Christians who came here, I'd say about 4 or 5 of them, and they came here for our morning program. How early? I can't remember. Was it 4:30 or 7 o'clock? It was probably 7 o'clock, right? And they came to participate, coming from a very sincere platform. Then they asked us to come to their morning program, or when they had prayers. It was not at 4:30, I can tell you that. And it was in their church or their place of gathering, and they did some prayers. And after the ceremony or the service was over, I asked a couple of them, well, we're talking here about God's name being holy, God's name being powerful. And then I asked them, what is that name? I said, nobody knows. Okay. I didn't want to say, we know. I didn't want to come across arrogant. Did anybody ever hear the time when Prabhupada was met by some people of a different yoga organization, and they came to him and they were discussing different things from the platform of the Bhagavad Gita. And they said, Swamiji, one of the rep spokesmen, Swamiji, no one has ever seen God. So that didn't sit too well with Prabhupada. Said, do not say, no one has ever seen God. You have not seen God, but not that no one has seen God. You have not seen God. So you kind of rubbed it in, you like it. So people make all kinds of claims about God. There is definitely a lack of faith in many spiritual practices, followings, and it's something that visits us too, you know? Lack of faith, and perhaps it's from lack of, hearing, and also maybe a lack of testimony. Well, I haven't experienced I haven't got the buzz enough. You know, I remember one of our second generation devotees, his parents really encouraged him. Maybe they were too hard on him. And so he came up with this conclusion. It doesn't work. Chanting Hare Krishna doesn't work. But he's actually a nice kid, you know. I mean, kid, now he's something else. He's a grown man. Why doesn't it work? But why is it we can't wrap our mind around the chanting? Lack of faith, perhaps? Or maybe we're just not putting enough energy into it. Maybe we're not approaching it in the right way. Is it possible, I ask you all, all of you, if you've had that experience, is it possible to actually not approach something properly in the right mood?
Yes.
Yeah, and like Guru Das Prabhu was talking about how the devotees just offered obeisances to each other upon seeing them, even on the way to the washroom. You know? He didn't say that, but I'm saying it. Okay, even the devotees really have to go. They really have to go to the can, and they still, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. I really have to go. So we just made a point of it to always respect each other, and as special souls, those who are in this Bhakti Academy, you're special souls. You're in a training ground. You're a train. Okay. In India, the culture is about trains, and it used to be here as well. Did anybody ever, when they grew up, did you live near a train? How many people did not? Oh, you really missed out. Trains are cool. The iron horse, they sound like a harmonium. Right? So, every hour, the train just north of us goes by, every hour. And when it does, it shakes the windows up in Prabhupada's quarters. A little bit. I don't mind it. I don't mind the train either. What's the thing about the train? It's a facility. It has several wagons. It has an engineer in the front. It has a caboose, right? What's in the front? The engine, right? Engine, right. And, I love trains. And, it makes a nice sound. The old ones, you can help me. Anyways, Prabhupada came here to train us, And he's like runs the engine, and the engine moves. Have you ever seen at a standstill, the train is there and just a little jolt. It's the engine, and then like dominoes. Did you know that people did some big domino thing here in this city the other day? It went for several miles, right? That's totally cool. Dominoes. Yeah, so that Domino's, the game of dominoes, other than, being a pizza outlet, it's a place where, people just follow each other. It's a situation like that. It was about 20 years ago, there was a major ice storm in Quebec, and it was kind of declared as an emergency. The army had to come out, and they had to take people out of their homes because there was no electricity, and they had to bring them to a common, facility, and where the power was on. And one of the miraculous things that happened about that is that people go, "Oh, you're my next door neighbor. Oh, that's wonderful." They got to know each other. Now, what was the thing about the ice storm? Those big hydro power towers, which Scarborough was known for. There was so much ice collected on those towers that the ice pulled them down. And it was one like like dominoes. We have to be a little bit like dominoes. And in connection to the shloka here and the verse and the purport, Prabhupada's talking about the disciplic succession. Do what the others have done. Recently, we had a program. Jai was there, and you were there. Okay, Mr. Saffron Man. We were there in Peterborough, and there's one guy sort of all tattooed up, but kind of a Vedic person, I gave him my card, and he got back to me, the email. Why is it Hare Krishna? Why can't it be Hari Krishna? Like with an I, long I. Hare Krishna. It was a sincere question. How many people do you meet why is it pronounced like this? Anyways, this fellow deliberately came to a spiritual function, it was Janmashtami, and it was such a wonderful program. Believe me. I mean, everyone moved, everyone sang. It's one of the highlights of I've never seen so many people all moving the same way and on the same pitch. Same pitch, same key. And so he asked that question. And so I got back to him and I just said, well, why do we do this? Because we follow a disciplic succession. We follow the acharyas, what they have done. And Hare refers to Radha, the sort of girlfriend of God. This is the way it's been chanted for so long. Hari refers to Vishnu, and of course he understood Vishnu. And it's okay to chant Hari. It means to take away anything that's inauspicious, to kind of steal. During the time of Mahaprabhu, when there was this friction with the Muslims and the Hindus, and some of Chandkazi's, the Muslim ruler at the time, near Navadvip, they were joking a little bit. All these Hindus, they say Hari, Hari, Hari. So we were very concerned that they're stealing something. They're planning to steal. But actually, anyways, they were laughing it up, yucking it up a little bit. Most people know Hindus or people on the Vaishnava tradition, they're not known to steal. It's just not in their nature. It's not part of the culture. You know where most of the stealing goes on? And at Serengeti, not Sharanagati. Okay, one animal attacks another one, and finally they kill the animal. You know how brutal nature is. Have you ever seen those clippings? It could be a lion, and then another animal comes and tries to steal. Like even in our country, like a grizzly will take down, like say a moose, for instance, and then he's got it. And then the wolves smell it and they come around and they all have a big competition to see who can steal what, And then some birds come and they try to poke in. In Africa, it's those vultures, those real weird looking, it's a big battle for stealing, And if an animal does capture prey, they'll hide it. Because a lot of those predators, it's very difficult work. The vegetarian animals, it's right there. It's all over the place, the grass. They don't have any problems at all. But it's the predators that have real problems. Even Prabhupada talks about that. It's the tiger, I believe. So there's an animal, a bird that goes, Fayo! Fayo! It's spelled F-A-Y-O. And what it do is a warning, lion is here, tiger is here. And then everyone gets alerted and they scurry around everywhere all over. It's just simply a warning that clear out of there. So anyways, there's places where people actually learn how to steal. And some people even say, we learn how to hunt, we learn how to gather, we learn how to conquer. We learn it from the pack of wolves or wild dogs. Well, you have to question some of those things. How can you know? Were you there? Yes, in a former life. Yeah, so really it's, we follow a disciplic succession. We follow a line of people who are truthful, who are honest, not just anybody. Yes. Okay. Everything's okay? The people that, what? Yeah, yes, Shastra, yes. So it's a matter of following the honorable souls. We are by nature followers. They have a saying in the army, lead, follow, or get out of the way. Have you ever heard that before? Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Because if you can't lead and you can't follow, you're pretty useless. So let's follow. But what are you following? What are we following? We're following the devatas. We're following the devotees. We're following the acharyas, the pure devotees of the Lord. That's what we're following. Any other following could be a problem. There's this famous painting by Bruegel. He was like Flemish or Dutch, one of those famous. So he's got, it's a real strong philosophical statement. And what's happening is there's like a queue of people that sort of winds around. And one person is, just about to step into a ditch and fall. You've heard that phrase, the blind leading the blind. So what's going to happen to the next guy in line? He's going to fall into that ditch. And then there's these lemmings, which is a kind of a rodent. They have a period in their life where they run. They just follow the alpha. They follow and he jumps over the cliff and they all go down. Splat. Splat, 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 splat. All over the place. And so they're just following someone else, the major guy, and which leads to their death. So it's an excellent painting. You could look it up, Bruegel, B-R-U-G-E-L or something like that. So blind leading the blind. Who are the blind? The people who are just concocting their own ideas. The people who have established their own way, not taking the time to deeply investigate and see what is the right way. Everyone's got a different path. In chapter 9, Krishna talks about different paths. Is it there? Okay, I'd love to see it again. It's very, very philosophical.
Google.
B-R-U-G.
B-R-U-E-G.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's look at that. So if somebody's blind, they can't lead. And that's why people had an issue with Dhritarashtra. In Peter Brooks's version of the Mahabharata, the script goes something like this. The king is blind. The king is blind. How can a king be blind? How can a king lead when he was blind? And so it's actually a good point. Dhritarashtra was blind, he couldn't see. That's right there in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, right? And it just so happened that he depended on Duryodhana's opinion. Luckily, he had a younger brother, Brugal. Let's try to find it. There's lots of kirtan going on, right? It's nice, isn't it? It's beautiful work. Very colorful. Look at people skating, and hopefully we can find the one. That's me. Yeah, let's see if we can find it. Oh, where are you going? Yeah, that's the theme. I don't know what the title is. Well, hopefully we can find it. Anyways, you get the point. How can a blind person... It's there! What? Wait a minute. The blind leading the blind.
This one,
Yeah, maybe he's got different versions of it. I think they're just trying to show sort of directions. What the artist does, he oftentimes has an idea of structure. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's where most people are at. They're just following the blind. And so that's it. Vidura, just go back to the Mahabharata. Vidura was the younger brother of Dhritarashtra, and he was very wise. That's what the name implies. He was able to see. He had vision. I used to take Latin. Video. It's a Latin word where you see. Now, a lot of people, they say, I see, but they're not seeing the truth. The truth lies in eternity. That's chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, right? And not in matter. Matter matters. Everybody's talking about this group of people matter. This group, black lives matter, white lives, children matter, indigenous matter, everyone matters. Matter matters too. But more important than matter is spirit. Because matter is something you can't have, going back to the term, faith in. You can't have faith in matter. Why? Why can't you have faith in matter? Because?
It's not permanent, it's temporary.
Right, it's always changing. And you can't trust people who are always changing. Right? There's no trust there. There's no faith. I mean, you can try it for a while, test somebody, but if they double cross you or they let you down, you could try it again. But if they let you down a second time, what about a third time? Oh, 3 times, 3 strikes and you're out. That's baseball, right? 3 strikes and you're out. So let's strike it. And that means to dive at the lotus feet of the great souls. And you can do that physically, but it actually means something a little more deeply. What are they saying? Try. Whatever is bad is meant for my strength, building up strength, right? So even bad is good. And what was it that Guru Das was saying something about captains or people in the sea. You know, you have to tread rough waters. Wow, that was very emphatic.
Sorry. He said that
Sailors.
a sailor is like you can't learn to sail properly on smooth seas. In smooth seas.
Mhm.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah. A real expert human being is somebody who weathers the weather. By the way, how many people like storms? Storms. How many people like storms? Some people are going like this, so they're not sure of themselves. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. It's this or it's that or it's nothing, right? Okay, storms. Why? Why do you like storms?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
So,
What else? You like storms?
I know you guys want to.
Okay. How about you?
Actually, I enjoy it because it's gonna rain. Right?
Because it's wet.
It's going to rain whenever there is a storm. It's going
Oh,
to rain.
what about snow? Because it's Canada.
The snow.
What's
I like
that?
snowstorms.
You like
Because I get to
snowstorms?
stay inside. School's canceled. Yay.
Yeah. See, those are genuine reasons. Anybody else like storms
I
and
have
for
a
what?
different reason why I like storms. So after the storm passes away, the skies are like really pretty and beautiful.
Oh, very nice. That's a good reason to like a storm. Yes.
I don't get to see lightning often, so when there's like a really bad thunderstorm, seeing lightning.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Yes.
I hate storms because I like stability.
Stability. Yes. But part of being stable is that you have to rough it up like the sailor. Yes.
I like storms when I'm not driving.
When you're out driving.
When I'm not driving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I like, you like,
It gives from the sun. It goes away.
it goes away. You like, okay. Anyway, I like storms because it humbles you. You realize I'm small. The storm is great. It's overwhelming. It humbles you. Okay, great. So we talked about faith a little bit. We've got to leave a little time for your questions and answers and comments and deliberations, etc., etc., etc. Yes.
Marg, I think I heard from Keshav Marg that he said that a spiritualist tries to look for opportunity in every situation, even the bad ones. And what you were saying about how
Bad is good.
yeah, bad is good, bad is good.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you tough. And we need to be tough because we're dealing with a harsh world, right? Very good. Great. Any other comments, Bruce? Yes.
Maharaj, you like to mention Radha Rani as a girlfriend with Krishna.
Yeah.
But few months ago, somebody mentioned that Krishna and Radha Rani got married.
They got married.
Yes.
Yes, that some of the acharyas will portray it like that, so that it will come across as a little more conventional. But when it comes down to the facts, they were very deeply in love with each other and as paramours. But we can't fault them because the love is gold. It's not like iron. There's certain things that we can follow or repeat that Krishna does, certain things we cannot. Krishna shows his transcendence. Yeah. So some people might need to hear that, oh yeah, they're husband and wife, just to keep themselves on track. But don't be too transcendental. There's like some people say, oh, I can smoke ganja because, I go to the cannabis store because Shiva did. But did you know that Shiva swallowed an ocean of poison? So if you are okay for absorbing those kind of toxics, take any amount of drugs that you want, no problem. Qualify yourself first. Yes.
So there is a comment from Murli Shastri. He's writing that lead, follow, or get out of the way. This helps to focus on following Srila Prabhupada's teaching to spread Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Marley. You're wonderful. Absolutely right. Like there can't be like a hazy part of your life. You have to, things have to be very definitive, you know, a very clear line drawn, a very clear path taken. It can't be nebulous. It can't be just like a blur. It has to be very clear what you're doing with your life. And a lot of people are in that position. They're not sure what to do with themselves. I guess it's the culture of duh. So let us get it right. Let's be on a clear path, a path that Mahajana Kota Sapanta from Yudhishthira Maharaj. He said, you follow the footsteps of the great souls. Don't follow the blind. Let the blind follow you. Yes.
I'm sorry, there is one more question from Dina. He's saying, it's mentioned bad reactions are cause of our own actions. Other places it says everything done by Krishna's will.
Yes. So you want to pull it all together? Is that the idea? Well, can you be a little more specific, maybe?
She's trying to say that bad reactions are cause of our own actions that we have done.
Yes.
But when something, but it is also said that if
Well, Krishna's perfection lies in the fact that he's giving you a free will. He's giving you a choice. If you're told, if you are forced to do everything that he's laid out for you, then it's a little bit like slavery, right? You do this, you do that. Krishna's giving us some freedom. Of course, it's false, because do we really have freedom? You have some kind of freedom. Like say, for instance, Jai's sitting there, and he's got the freedom to do this. And he's got a little jitter here with this knee. Sorry to pick on you. He doesn't have to do that, but he's decided to do it, or something's compelled him to do that. So within a certain space, we have freedom. If you're on a plane, you're very limited. You strap yourself down, you feel like you're in prison. And then once in a while, the person in front of you, and then you're by this window, and then you have to go, right? Excuse me, and these people are fast asleep. Excuse me. Oh, okay. So people really understand that, they try to help each other. They understand we're packed together. But you have some freedom to go to the washroom or not go to the washroom, or pee in your pants. or you can talk to the people, you can talk to the, maybe you have a chance to go up and down the aisle, perhaps, one of those 12-hour flights, maybe, when everyone is, So you have some freedom. Read the flight magazine. Nobody has flight magazines anymore, hardly. It's all about your own device. So you can look at your device, you can watch the movies, you can follow the news, blah, 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 You have so much choice. Even when you go to the can, you can decide how long to stay there. But it's so limited. And we think, oh my God, I've got so much freedom. I go to Costco, I have so much choice, right? But to enjoy your choice, you have to fork out a lot of money. But I'm getting a deal. I'm getting a super deal, but it's still a trap, It's a trap. You don't need something, but it's on sale. People argue like that. Do you really need it? No, but it's on sale. And then you go to their closet, they're all stuffed with stuff, which all came from sales. And in the end, they just spend so much money. If you can, add it up, tally it up, and you'll see, well, maybe they spend a lot more money than they needed to. It's just a trick, and it's a trap in the world of consumerism. So yesterday, we went to the farm, you know, and some of us were there, and Vishal was telling me that he has people who are hired hands, you know, but they always want more money. There's never enough. Never enough. Right, so that's our problem. And when you live in the world of lust and greed, it's very hard to see things. It's very hard to have that vision of Vidura. You're going to stay Dhritarashtra. How many people want to be Dhritarashtra? How many people want to be like Vidura? Okay. Prabhu, you don't want? You want to be like Vidura? Yeah. Vision. Have some vision. Being able to see. And the vision that we're supposed to have, that which builds faith, is Shastra Chakshu. See through the eye of Scripture. Hare Krishna. So it's now 8. Si, Senor.
So Maharaj, you mentioned that early birds get the
Worm.
and then you mentioned that early birds are pure devotees like Narada Muni, and
Yeah.
we are the worm.
Yeah.
So what as a worm should be our thing so that we can get the mercy or get become a prey of those worms?
You mean you want to be a bird, not the
No.
worm. You want to be a worm and stool. Okay.
So what we can do as a worm to be the prey of that
Well-
bird, to get that mercy from the devotee.
Oh, okay. You want to sacrifice it. Well, the bird is Krishna in that case. Krishna, get me. You see the robins in the spring? And they poke in the ground. And I saw one at Ramsden Park. He pulled out a worm that was so fat, he just let him go. Just couldn't. But the point is they're just trying to get their worms. They're trying to get their food, right? Which reminds me. All right. So anyways, Prabhu's, so the idea is to be the bird. That means get your worm, get your stuff done, get your rounds done. That's what it means. You know? And if you want to be the worm, that means that Krishna pulled me out, plucked me out of this world. That's why I have a shika. Or a ponytail. 2 ponytails. Oh, it's just one. Okay. I couldn't. It was falling like this, so I thought there were 2. Okay, you've got one too. Krishna will do that. Pull you. So you could be the worm or you could be the bird. Let's build up our faith, read more, hear more, and you'll believe. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Panchakalptarubhyascha kripasindhuveta patinanapavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So I believe that